Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. I want to talk now about a story that I kind of put two and two together because of our CFB transfers portal page, okay? And it involves a player named Kewan Lacy. And I'll be transparent. Kewan Lacy, to quote the Shaq meme, I was not familiar with your game, okay? But he is a former four-star running back from the 2024 recruiting class, a player that, I knew the name but didn't know much about, commits to Missouri, and on Monday, and I actually went back and looked at the timestamps, at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, Hayes Fawcett, who does an unbelievable job on the portal, puts out a graphic. Kewan Lacy, four-star recruit, class of 2024, has announced he will transfer from Missouri. Well, why do I bring it up? It is because, as you can see on the screen, it was literally 12 hours later. It was 12 hours later that Kewan Lacy, who entered the portal at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, and I think it was 10:09 Pacific, decided to commit to Ole Miss. He had the graphic made. He was ready to go, all of that good stuff. And so this was just such a light bulb moment for me. And listen, we all know that tampering happens, right? But this kid, Kewan Lacy, I'm not blaming him. He's just a kid. He's whatever. But I think, it's funny. I was thinking about remember the line from the movie My Cousin Vinny? And they're talking about, he's in court, he's this, he's that. And he drops the line like, do the laws of physics cease to exist on your stove? Well, I bring it up because apparently the laws of the transfer portal cease to exist in Kewan Lacy's world. 10 a.m., he's in the portal. By 10 p.m., he's gone through the entire recruitment, seen everything he's got to see, do everything he's got to do, and he's committing to Ole Miss, okay? And so I bring it up because I put out a tweet. You can put it up, producer Matt. I appreciate you having it ready. Where basically I just said, and I don't even really care, but I just said, this kid literally got in the portal less than 12 hours ago. Now, it was actually a little bit more than 12 hours ago, but that's neither here nor there. This kid literally got in the portal less than 12 hours ago. Glad to see tampering doesn't exist in college sports. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah, I think there might have been some tampering going on here, okay? And so, first of all, I put that out. As you can imagine, Ole Miss fans were not happy with me. And they brought up a few, relevant points. Like, one, this kid committed to Missouri over Ole Miss last year. So there was clearly a relationship with the kid, with the school, with the this, with the that. So I get it. I'm not even mad about it. What I am going to say is you can't deny that tampering is happening, and you can't deny that this, in my opinion, is probably the most egregious example yet of just blatant tampering. And listen, we're going to get into it because I don't know that there's anything that anybody can be done. And I don't even blame the school. But if you can't see the obvious tampering that just went on, I don't know what to tell you. Now, a couple quick thoughts. First of all, again, this kid, I feel bad. I'm talking about him. I don't know him. I'm sure he's a good kid. I have no ill will with him. But one thing I will tell you, if I was his agent, if I was his parent, my advice would have been pretty straightforward. And my advice for any parent who has a kid that might enter the portal here in the next few weeks or the next few years or whatever, just do yourself a solid. Even if you know where you want to go, even if you know your spot is going to be taken if you don't commit, you can silently commit without publicly acknowledging it. And so just silently commit, do the whole song and dance, wait at least 24 hours, because that's the thing. It's not that players all the time don't enter the portal knowing where they want to go or having a leader or having previous communication. It's that it just looked so bad. You enter the portal at 10 a.m., you exit at 10 p.m., and it just did not look good for the kid. It did not look good for Ole Miss, and that would be my piece of advice. Don't do it. Now, to the point that Ole Miss fans will defend, and I think they're right. One, tampering obviously happens everywhere, okay? And tampering happens, and not even necessarily in the way I think most people think, but I think we're now educated enough as a college football, college basketball community to understand how tampering really works. As I said a minute ago, all these players have agents. As I said a minute ago, all these players have representation. As I've said a minute ago, all these players have somebody who helps them out behind the scenes. Very rarely in this world, unless it's like a D3 kid or whatever, is a kid fielding the phone calls himself, or at least not having somebody, especially for a player like this who did not play very much at Missouri. Behind the scenes, I'm sure he probably knew 6, 8 weeks ago, hey, I'm going to eventually enter the portal. Okay. And so I don't blame the kid. But as I said, there are people working behind the scenes. And the way this whole thing really works is Lane Kiffin, I don't think, and I'm not, Lane Kiffin might see this video, he might get mad, might tweet at me, but I don't think Lane Kiffin has the time to slide into the kids' DMs. I think what ends up happening is you have all these huge player personnel staffs. You have whoever just talking to agents, talking to people, talking to whoever. Oh, hey, you represent so and so. Oh, or hey, you're just talking to oh, hey, coach, just by the way, I want you to know so and so probably going to enter the portal. Not very happy. I mean, that's the job of these player personnel staffs. So one, everybody's just talking to everybody, and it's not even necessarily tampering to just say, hey, we recruited so-and-so. How's he doing? Is he doing okay? Is he having a good time? Whatever. That's the relationship building that comes in college football. But two, it happens everywhere. And I think that to me is why, even though it's a funny story, and even though I would advise the next kid to not commit the same day he enters the portal, I do think it's probably worth noting, like, it does happen everywhere. And that's, by the way, because people ask me all the time, Torres, how do we stop tampering? And the issue is, I don't really know that anybody really wants tampering to stop, right? Because here's the thing, like, yeah, you might get pissed if your star player enters the portal and 12 hours later he commits somewhere. But guess what? At some point, someone is going to commit to your school that somebody on your staff may have had a pretty good idea that they were going to enter the portal in previously, okay? And so I bring it up because all of these portal rules right now, like, everybody wants to complain about everything. The issue is they only want to complain when it hurts them and never when it helps them. It's true with tampering. It's true, by the way, like you saw the story with Bo Perbula, the Penn State quarterback the backup who decides to enter the portal before Penn State's playoff game. And James Franklin is freaking out. Oh my goodness, this isn't fair to the kid, this and that. And it's like, yeah, well, James Franklin, guess what? If you were 4-8 and you didn't have a quarterback on your roster, you wouldn't have a problem with the situation, but you're on the wrong side of it. And so I feel the same way about tampering, is that if you're a Missouri fan, it freaking sucks today. But guess what? There's somebody committing to Missouri, and I'm not trying to point fingers. That's basically just like, you know what? Guess what? Missouri, I talked to somebody from Missouri, or my agent talked to somebody from Missouri 6, 8 weeks ago. They knew I was entering the portal back in October, late October, early November. So that is why, because this is one of the top questions I get, especially this time of year, especially in April during portal season, is like, Torres, how do we stop this? I don't think we stop it, because I don't think anybody wants it stopped. Because if you stop the tampering, then guess what? It's not only going to hurt the players that leave your program. In other words, it's not only going to hurt the school that is recruiting your guys, it's going to hurt your program, because you quietly behind the scenes are tampering as well. So it is an ongoing issue. It is certainly fascinating. And I don't think there's really a quick fix to it. I just think it is what it is. I think certainly as we evolve in college sports, there will probably be something resembling a professional contract. If that happens, I think that probably changes things. But for right now, I just don't know what you can do if you lose a player to the portal and 12 hours later he commits to Ole Miss.